looking good, I'm a bad bitch. I'm sick of motherfuckers trying to tell me how to live. Wet hoes hate under my pictures on the gram. Bitch, you better hope I never run across your man. In the mall with him, I'ma have a ball with him. Somebody call Rihanna, I'ma buy some draws with him. He fucking with the stallion cause he in the wild women.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, then welcome to my world. Today I honestly just think I want to do story time, and that's gonna be fun. But before we get started, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and also don't forget to hit the notification bell so you guys know when I drop a new video. And follow me on all my social medias. Do not forget to follow me on all my social medias. I'm gonna put it below. I'm not gonna forget to put it below, but don't y'all forget to follow me. But let's get right into it. Okay, so hey y'all, I'm back with this story time, and I'm just basically gonna tell y'all how I became a mommy. Like, I am a whole mom out here, y'all. I mean, like a whole mom. But yeah, I'm just gonna tell y'all about that. So I got pregnant at 16 with my daughter, and her name is Harm. Well, her name is Harmony, but that's my Harm. And I actually found out on 4th of July. Can you believe that? 4th of July. Then on top of that, I ended up at the beach that day when I found out. But let me tell y'all how I found out. So I was in McBee. I don't know if y'all know where that is because it's a small little town. You probably don't know, so I'm not even going to explain it. But I was at my grandma's house, and I guess I just wasn't really feeling well that day. And my aunt was cooking my favorite food. She was cooking macaroni and some fried chicken and chicken strips, and she was making like some biscuits. And so I just know something was wrong and what's going on with me, because I just, like, when I tell y'all I didn't feel good, like I was feeling like I had to throw up just from like the smell of it. And I'm like, wait, nah, like this can't be right. Like, that's my favorite food. Like, she and they cooking it up, like, and yeah, like I just felt real sick. So basically I was telling my aunt how like I didn't feel good, and my breasts, they were like really sore. And so like I told her about that, and my aunt, she like one of those aunts, like she know, like she really be knowing like what's going on. So my cousins ended up going to buy like I think it was like a pack with like a couple in it, and it was like first response or whatever. And when I tell you, they had brought me a couple of those, so I think I took like 1 or 2. And so we waited, cause yeah, my heart was beating so fast I was scared, cause it wasn't no way I was gonna be a mama. So we waited, and sure enough, that thing said positive. And when they was telling me at first, I was scared, but then I was like, I ain't want to get scared, because they probably playing, like, because we play a lot. So I was like, okay, they probably playing. And they was like, no girl, you pregnant, like you is pregnant. And I'm like, okay, like let me look at this. Y'all, when I look, I just saw like my whole life like really flash upon me. Like, I was so scared, because I was like, dang, like I'm only 16, like what am I gonna do with a baby? Like, I got my whole life ahead of me. Like, I want to go to college, I want to be something. But then, like, I'm also a responsible person. Like, I was raised to be that way. So I'm just like, okay, like, if I am pregnant, I know it's something I did, and my actions is the reason why I'm here. So it ain't like I'm gonna just be like one of those types of people when, you know, complain. But I ain't gonna lie, it was a scary feeling. Like, that was scary. I mean, for a 16-year-old. So I think I was really scared because I had one of those type of mamas. Y'all know how those black mamas be. Like, they be telling y'all, you get pregnant, you getting put out. So, shoot. First thing came to my head, I'm telling my cousins and my aunts, them, I'm like, y'all gotta go get my stuff from that house. She about to put me out. Like, she about to put me out. That test said positive. So we ended up going to the beach because, you know, like on 4th of July, most people like go to the beach or find things to do, like family things to do. Our little family thing to do was like go to the beach. Like, we spend a day at the beach. Sometimes like we stayed the night, but it wasn't always like a guarantee that we was gonna stay the night. But that time we didn't. So we went. When I tell y'all, I had a baby bump. And you know why I had a baby bump? Because I was pregnant and I was 3 months and I didn't even know. I did not know that I was pregnant. 3 months? Are you serious? Like, I just couldn't believe it. So at the time, the guy that I was pregnant by, like, it wasn't like anything I had to figure out or anything, because like around that time, like, it was the only guy I was talking to and the only guy I had been in a relationship with. We had been together for like years, and then on top of that, like, you know, that was the only person I had messed with. Like, he was my first, so it was the only body I had. So it's not like I had to, you know, be like, oh, who the daddy, him. No, like, I only had one body at that age. So it's like I knew exactly who to go to. But it was just so crazy, and it was a coincidence because it's like he texted me that day out of nowhere and asked me how I was doing. And when I told him, I don't really feel like he denied it or anything, because like he didn't. But he was more so like me, scared, because we were 16 and young. Like, he thinking like, dang, what we gonna do with a baby? And I'm like, yeah, you tell me what we gonna do. So basically, when we got to the beach, let me tell you about my aunt. Like, this funny. Now, this is really the funny part. My aunt was like, all right, so everybody know I was scared. You know, my mama had to find out some way or another, because I had started getting a bump and I was starting to show, even though I had just found out. But she was gonna find out, you know, eventually. So, you know, so my aunt was like, basically the plan was for none of us to tell my mama. I was gonna tell her, figure out a way to tell her. But in my head, I'm like, I ain't gonna tell her. Like, I'm just gonna go pack my stuff. And when she asks me why I'm packing my stuff, I'm gonna say, I'm keeping my baby. So I'm about to get all my stuff now. You said you was gonna put me out. But like, my aunt basically was like, I ain't gonna tell your mama. I ain't gonna tell your mama. Y'all, we get to the beach. My mama, I think my mama called. I can't really remember like how that part happened, if we called her or if she called, but I'm thinking that she called us. And as soon as she got on the phone, my aunt was like, Shell, Mira pregnant. We all looked at her, me and my cousins, like, what? You said you weren't gonna tell. She like, y'all, I couldn't hide that from my sister. I couldn't keep that from my sister, because like they close, so you know how that go. Like, she just had to tell them. So she told her. My mama basically thought we was playing. Like, she thought it was the 4th of July or something. I don't know if she thought it was April 1st or something or what, because she was up there talking about y'all trying to April Fools me, and it wasn't even April. It was July. So I don't know what happened with that. But yeah, it was just crazy. Like, she was crying, and then you know how they go telling you how when you was a baby, and they can remember like when you was a kid. So she was like, I remember when like you was a kid. And I don't know, I was just getting sensitive, because like I was one of those crybabies when I was pregnant. So I cried about everything, like everything. Don't let nothing happen and think I was gonna cry about it. So basically during that time, like, my mom was like actually going through like a lot, like, so she was happy like to find out about my baby, because like she came at the right time. So she was really happy. And it wasn't what she said it was. So yeah, basically her and my stepdad like would try to feed me everything, because my mama, she wanted a chubby grandbaby, so they would try to feed me everything. But I had a stubborn little baby, so it was like she was really picky on what I could eat. So I could not eat anything. Only thing I could eat was hot dogs with chili and onions. And now I'll just eat a hot dog with chili, but I don't know about the onions. But that's the only thing she would let me like hold down, because like towards the beginning, like early on, I had morning sicknesses. Like, you know, it was terrible. Like, it was bad. Like, I couldn't eat anything. But yeah, I was still in school, so it was just so hard, like trying to go to school and then being pregnant. And then I went through, you know, the phase of being scared to go to school because I was 16. I'm like, dang, like I'm in high school, people about to judge me, like they gonna say this, say that. But then I just came to the conclusion, people gonna talk regardless. Like, everybody got opinions and they entitled to have their opinions. And it's just like, whether I was pregnant or not, people was gonna feel how they wanted to feel, or people was gonna talk. So, you know, early on, I just learned, like, you know, let people talk. Like, things happen. I know what I did and why I'm here. So long as I'm fine with it and my mom is okay with it, and you know, the dad, like, we good. Like, I don't care what nobody else has to say. But I went through my pregnancy alone with only my mom and my brother there, because like my baby dad, like, I just feel like when I was pregnant, like I can't really like lie and say that like he was like there, because he wasn't. Like, truth is, like when I was pregnant, like he drugged me through my pregnancy. Like, it's just like I was alone. Like, when I would go to doctor's appointments and stuff, like my mama would basically have to fuss at him for him to get in the car and come. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, dang, like you knew like what we were doing, and I mean, we should have known something like this was going to happen. But I never thought, you know, was the type of person to like was going to act like this when, like, you know, a situation like this came up. Like, we would go to the doctor's appointments. You know, like when you go to like those doctor's offices, you would be sitting there. I'm telling you, all the dads and moms, well, you know, soon to be mommies, are sitting together, you know, acting all happy and stuff. I'm sitting over there by myself looking sad, and he's sitting on the other side of the room like he ain't even there with me. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, dang, like I'm gonna be alone taking care of a baby. Like, so first is I'm pregnant at 16, and now is I'm gonna basically be taking care of a baby by myself. And I guess like I went through like a couple of phases like while I was pregnant, because like I didn't want my little girl to, like, you know, grow up like me without like a father or a dad, because I know how hard it was for me, and I know everything I had to deal with, and like things I had to basically teach myself to overcome, and half of them I haven't even overcome now, and I'm 24. So it's just like I didn't want my daughter to grow up like that. So I basically stayed with my baby dad, let him do whatever. I let him play the field while we were together. You know, I just wanted to keep my family together. Like, I just wanted a better life for my daughter. I wanted her to have a, you know, present father there. I wanted her to, you know, have all the things I didn't have. So, you know, she would have had a better chance of having a better life. Like, and I was just willing to do whatever so that my daughter could have that. Like, I didn't even care like how he was treating me. Well, I ain't gonna say I didn't care. I just felt like, okay, like maybe when my daughter get here, like things will get better. But they never did. They never did. And so when my daughter was born, like, I remember I was in labor for 2 days. I had her that second day at like 10. And everybody was like coming from my school. Like, basically the whole school came to like see her, like, you know, to support me and stuff. Like, I don't know, like, I guess a lot of people wanted to see her. So a lot of people came and like to see her. And I just felt so happy because, you know, I was getting support from people who didn't even have to give me that support. Like, and then I'm like, dang, like, I just basically went through a long pregnancy, you know, went through so many problems, stressing. Like, I remember, you know, I was like at the emergency room more than anything because, like, I'm the type of person, like, a lot of things get to me or whatever, and a lot of things bother me, so I stress a lot. So it's like, I remember worrying and worrying. My doctor having to tell me, you know, you got to stop worrying because your baby, you know, you don't want to lose your baby, do you? And I'm hearing that, and I'm like, no, like, I done made it this far. I don't want to lose my kid. But it's like, dang, like, so much is going on in my life. Every other week, I got some girl telling me that, you know, she was with my baby dad, or she may be pregnant too, while I'm basically at home, like, sick, y'all. Sick as a dog, like, can't move, you know, just pregnant stuff or whatever, and no help. Calling, because my mom, like, she worked a lot, so calling him, trying to, like, see if he would answer the phone. I'm telling you, 2 and 3 in the morning, calling, trying to see if he would answer the phone to come over so somebody could be over there with me, because, like, I was clumsy, like, always falling, and I didn't want to, like, hurt her, and I needed help. His grandpa and grandma didn't would tell me he wasn't even home, and then on top of that, he wouldn't answer his cell phone. It's like he had it turned off. And then, oh my God, going to school, like, just being in high school and having to go to school, and you know how gospel is, so everything is gonna get around, and my school was so small, so one thing happened, I'm telling you, everybody was gonna know about it by that next day. So by the next day of school, I'm walking around, people looking at me. You got the guys, like, his friends, laughing like, she dumb, she gonna stay with him. You got girls looking at me like, oh, she don't know. And I'm looking like, you know what, I don't know what's going on, just to find out another girl he was with, that's why he wasn't answering the phone. So it's just like, it was so hard. But I made it through, thankfully. And, you know, I had God with me, so, and my mom, so, like, that was a big help. But after I had her, y'all, my life, like, changed. Because when I tell y'all, before I had my daughter, I was like, wow, like, 8 months pregnant, I was out here fighting, like, just young. I'm not gonna call myself dumb, because I wasn't dumb. I was in love, like, but I should have known, like, love ain't what I thought I was getting. Like, I could have walked away. So I don't know, like, it's just like, I feel like if you gotta argue with somebody else, or if somebody gotta be coming to check you about somebody you with, or texting you, or asking you questions, or if you gotta fight over somebody, you don't need to be with them. Because somebody that love you, you ain't gonna be in competition with anybody. 8 months pregnant, my stepdad had just died. During his setting up, I'm fighting, pregnant, fighting. I'm just like, when I tell y'all, I got a temper, like, I'm not gonna lie about that, but I feel like my temper came from childhood things, and from, like, people taking advantage of me and, like, walking over me when, you know, you ain't have to do me like that. So it basically came from not understanding how people treated me. Like, just be like, dang, like, you don't have to treat me like that. But yeah, it was crazy. And so it's just like, after I had her, I just made a promise to myself and her while holding her in my arms. I was like, I'm never gonna fight again over your dad. Like, I'm never gonna fight over anybody again. Like, you know, what's meant for me is gonna always be for me, but what's not, it never will be. So I just told her, like, I'm gonna be a good mom. Like, I'm gonna set a good example for you. And ever since, I have, like, but yeah, that's the story, y'all, of how I became a mom. And it was hard, y'all. Like, my grades were still good. Like, I remember when I was pregnant, I could not be still. Like, I was always wanting to go somewhere, be in a mall somewhere. I didn't want to miss out on nothing that was going on. My friends would call me. I'm like, mama, I'm out. telling you, while I was pregnant and after I had the baby. But I took my baby with me. I wasn't one of those type of mamas that was like, can you keep my baby from me or this and that? No, she coming with me. She coming with me because I don't know when I'm coming back. I'm going to chill and hang out. So I packed my baby bag, did her some little bottles, put her little cereal and stuff in there, and we was out. We was out, y'all. But yeah, basically, I feel like, I don't know, getting pregnant with my daughter made me understand a lot. It made me understand like how parenthood is, what it's like to be a mother. It changes you, like, not in a bad way. It changes you for like the better. Like some of us actually be needing that. Like I needed that change, and I'm glad that I did change, because I was just like thinking like, dang, like before her I did not want that life. Like I wasn't like a bad kid or anything, so I ain't speaking on it like, okay, I ain't want that life like that, but I just didn't like, you know, as far as the fighting and, you know, the crazy things, I didn't want that type of life. So I'm glad that I was able to change from there. But you know, I did graduate from high school on time, and my grades were good. I kept them up, and I went to college, you know, because babies don't stop you. If anything, I feel like they're a reason for you to keep going. So, you know, yeah, that's my story.